What is up, guys? Kim Barrett here, coming at you. Today, I'm doing a full breakdown for you on how to make 50K a month using ads and beyond. This is the exact same strategy that we use for ourselves, that we use for our clients. And I wanted to put this together to share this with you. And I said, hopefully, you get some tremendous value. At the end of this, if you like what I have to say, you want to see how we can help you do more of that, awesome. If not, that's cool too. Feel free to check out everything else on our channel. We're here to help. So I said, my name's Kim from Your Social Voice. First and foremost, let's dive into who this won't help. Now, if you're someone who's in e-commerce, unfortunately, that's not our specialty. That's not our jam. Like, can I help you? Yes. Um, but again, it's not ideal. Everything that we do is structured around service, lead gen, not specifically for e-commerce. So can I help you? Yes, but again, it's not really ideal for you. This training is not for you. Please feel free to exit the video. You're not going to get the most out of it. And the second is basketers. What I call what I mean by basketers is anyone that if you're someone who goes and goes, oh, I'm just gonna put this into a hard basket. This is just I've tried this before. It's not going to be for me. Again, this video is probably not going to be for you. If you're very easy to put things in the too hard basket, again, like we want people that are going to be able to try this, iterate it, because again, ads won't make your campaigns and your business work overnight. Ads are not going to absolutely blow you up to 50K a month and beyond immediately. It takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of effort. So I highly encourage you, if that's you, this is not going to be for you. But who this is for, again, if you're someone who has margin and profit in your business, you're not trying to sell a $10 thing, a $100 thing. You have a product or service that, you have a high margin on, you have a high average customer value, you do a great job what you do. So you have very minimal chargebacks and things like that. This is for you. If you're also someone who's ready to grow, you're someone who has maybe tried a few things in the past and you're like, I'm actually ready to take my business to the next level. I want to start getting consistent results, consistent success with it. This is for you. And again, predictability. Because if you're someone who's doing organic, you've tried it, you're consistently putting stuff out there, you're reaching out to people, you're reaching out to, potential people in your network. What you've probably realized is that it can become unpredictable. When you're just trying every single day to push through, to make things happen, to try and bring people into your business, it's unpredictable. But when you have ads, we bring in predictability, which is what I want to share with you guys today, is how to make your business a bit more predictable, because then it comes a numbers game. We know $1 in equals how many dollars out. We know one lead equates to one conversation, equates to one sale. What's the ratio? You can understand that. So that's what we want to share. And I want to share with you is if you're someone who wants that predictability, we've got you covered. Do not stress. That's what we're here to do. But again, if you're someone who hasn't heard my story before and don't know about me, I'll share it with you a little bit because I've done everything and I've done it a lot of times the hard way. But going back in the day when I first started out online doing online advertising, I was about 15 years old. I was helping run a fish forum at the time, Tropical Fish. Me and my dad used to breed fish and sell them, and I was helping run a forum, answering questions. And they said, Kim, we need sponsors. We want to get sponsors for our website because that's how we're going to pay for our hosting. We're just enthusiasts. It's not a business. Can you help? And I was like, sure. I have no idea what that means, but sure, I can definitely try and help. Tell me, why would people sponsor us? Why would they want to help us out? And they broke down to me and they said, look, this is the 411 of online advertising at the time. We have a forum. We get 50,000 people a month come to our website. People that have online stores selling products, fish tanks, accessories, food, etc. They would be interested in those people. We have them on our website. We can put a little banner up at the top. They can click through. They can go there and purchase. We can give them a referral code. We have the audience. That's what they want. And I was like, great. How many spots do we have available? There was like 10 banners across the top. And I was like, all right, awesome. So we've got 10 spots. Perfect. So I wrote an email, and literally all I did was go on Google, Googled all the, probably Yahoo or Ask Jeeves at the time, went through and looked up all of the different online fish stores in Australia, looked them up, grabbed their email address, wrote an email that went something to the effect of, hi, I'm from this place. Here's a screenshot of the traffic that we have coming to us every single month. What we're looking for is 10 people. We're looking for either $4,000 in cash or $4,000 of equivalent contributions to us to be able to raffle off, to be able to give away, to be able to use in sweepstakes, to be able to bring money in to support us. We have 10 spots available. Here's the link. I'm sending this out to, I think it was like 50. Here's the link if you want to use PayPal, or if you want to message us and let us know what you can have, please do so. Thanks, Kim. Send this email off. Woke up the next morning, checked MSN Messenger as it was at the time, and they were like, "Kim, what did you do overnight?" And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, we've got all these, like, we've got money in PayPal. We've got people messaging us saying they want to give us this stuff. What did you do? And I was like, I have no idea. All I did was set this up, send it out there. And I was like, I have no idea what's going on. And then they're like, this is great. We got all the money for it. I didn't actually receive any of it, unfortunately. But that was my first foray into understanding that, like, there's supply and demand. If you have something that people want and you can put it in front of them, like, there's going to be a possibility of exchanging money. There's going to be a possibility of growth there. And that was my first foray into world of online marketing. Then, fast forward a few years, finish university, work a few jobs, and I like started understanding the world of advertising more and more. My brother and I had a supplement company, and I was like, I wonder if I was doing before with the fish stuff could help out. So started promoting a few ads, getting a few people on board that would purchase health and fitness supplements from us. Started understanding the way, and then I was like, all right, cool. Went out and started telling people that's what I was doing, and they were like, oh wow, could you do this for us? And I was like, I'm sure I can try, right? But I did it the very hard way because it was very hard to define the ideal customer. It was just like throwing paint against the wall for so long and seeing what sticks because the technical side of things I was great at. I could follow the instructions, I could set up the ads to the T, but trying to figure out who was the right market, who was the right audience, who was the right person to be talking to was the hardest thing. And I didn't want to waste anyone else's money figuring that out. So a lot of people at the beginning, I either worked for them for free, or again, I started running my own ads, and I was not in the position to be spending money on ads. I was earning like $300 a week, and I started spending money on ads and was like, all right, let me try this thing. Let me try and get leads for myself. So the first year, I earned about $30,000. I spent about $30,000 figuring out how to get leads for myself because I didn't want to waste other people's money. I could make it work for a few people, and then they like became my customers and clients. But I couldn't figure out how to do it until I started to try and realize the process. And in November of that year, I sold my first big client. I was like popping bottles and spraying, champagne all over the walls. And they were like, cool, we need 4,000 ads launched the week before Christmas or like a few weeks before Christmas. And I was like, well, they didn't say 4,000. They said, like, we've got like 300 products. We need a few variations. You should be testing against all these audiences. And I was like, yeah, I get that. I understand that. No worries. So I set up and launched personally myself 4,000 ads with the help of a VA to make the ads kind of look at least better because I was using, paint. Set up 4,000 ads to try and see what I could do when it came to those ads. And I was able to build some really successful ones, but it was just me. And at that time, I was like, this is way too stressful. I had no team, no support. I was like, I've got to get out of this. I actually can't do this. This is way too stressful. So I started refining the processes. And again, after launching 4,000 ads in literally a week in the lead up to Christmas, I started to figure out, okay, cool. I think there is a good way. I think there's a bit of understanding I have now about what I can do to be able to make this more effective, but also to be able to get a better result. And that's when I started like really honing in the process that we learned and adopt now at Your Social Voice. We've got an amazing team that support everything, but up until that point, it was like all trial and error, and I had to figure it out for myself and figure out what's the best way. And I've done it the hard way. I've spent and wasted all of the money doing it the wrong way, so that you don't have to. That was my ideal goal: is like figure it out for customers so that they don't have to do it. I'll figure out the way, and then let me share it with everyone. So for me, again, as I said, at that period of time, it was like 2014, right? When I was starting to run ads fairly big for myself, right? And versus now in like 2024, where we're at now. 2014, as I said, it was like literally paint, right? Throwing paint against a wall. I was also using paint, right, to create my ads. It was literally like a little bit of like shoot from the hip. And the biggest thing was that even though the thing that kind of saved me was that traffic was so cheap, right? It didn't really matter too much because the amount we had to spend to get a click, the amount we had to spend to get someone to take an action was so cheap. It actually allowed me to do a lot more testing, right? So if you think about like what the cost per click was, like I could easily get clicks for 10 cents to 50 cents. So for me, at that time, I had so much more room for error, so much more margin for error, so that I could try and figure that out. But it was a lot of just like, all right, hit and hope, and just like launch this. And as soon as I would launch it, I'd be like, start from scratch every time. I wouldn't have a method. I would just literally start from scratch, turn it off, and go back to the drawing board, which is probably not the best way. These days, it's like literally, I don't use paint, Canva, maybe, who knows? But literally, it's like, it's research. It's research. We have our audiences, we refine them, we follow what we call the NOC process. There's no more shooting from the hip, right? Because now the reason as well, like the reason why we have to actually do this is because the cost of traffic is higher and it's only going to get higher. So if you're someone who's been thinking, oh, I'll just wait to run ads, it's like there's a few things, and I'll talk to you about them in a sec, but cost of traffic's going up. So that means you have to get better. You can't, like, if you're trying to do what I did back then to try and figure it out, it's very, very costly, right? But now it's just about refinement. It's about dialing it in. It's just adjustments because we have a process, right? It becomes much, much easier. And that means that we can still get great results. I can still get leads under $10, even though the cost of traffic's gone up and everyone said it's really expensive and hard to do. It's not that hard if you know the process. If you use the NOC process, if you use your research, and if you refine things, you can make it so much easier. And again, you don't have to spend all of the money like I did to try and figure it out. As I said, it can be simples, right? The NOC method, like I mentioned, is niche, offer, and copy. They're like the three, the one big acronym. The NOC method is the one big method that overstands everything. First, you need to identify your niche you want to serve so you can become the mogul of your industry. You'll hear me talk about that a lot. That's where you're the go-to person. You're the person that stands out and they go, I want to work with you, right? Because you've dialed in your niche. You've really been identify what their pain is. You're able to articulate better than anyone else, right? And then you craft converting offers for your three core campaigns. There's three core campaigns that you need to have to take your business to 50K a month and beyond, my belief, right? And you can also, in copy, articulate your clients' fears, problems, and frustrations better than anyone else. That's the most important part. Now, when it comes to niche, the most effective thing that you have in your pocket with Facebook is targeting, right? That's what the big, most important piece is. Because if you can understand your niche, as I said before, it's very, very easy for you to be able to identify what offer to run to them, what copy to use to articulate that to them. Niche is, of the 100%, this is like 66% of what you need to get right. You need to know who you want to work with. You need to know what their main problem is. But the big key is that targeting, right, which is a thing that everyone loves metaphor, is actually probably, my guess is going to be Jan in 2025. There's going to be a few big changes coming because they've already said, and they've already started to remove options that are going to be fully disabled by January 2025, which is exclusion targeting. So that's where you can take a portion of the audience out, right? So now it's a golden window, right? Before I'm probably thinking by June, most of them, like by June 2025, most will probably be refined because they want to use AI. They think AI is going to be the problem solver. However, if you're a small business owner and you're spending under $200 to $300 a day, probably even up to $500 a day, their AI at the beginning is not good enough. It's going to spend so much of your money trying to find that right audience. But if you're someone who's spending $50 up to $100 a day, which is where most small business owners kind of sit in that realm, maybe even up to a couple hundred, right? You don't have the ability to use AI. You've got to be really good with your targeting. And that's why having an identified niche is so important. And again, when you take that and put that into your offers and get all three offers, all three campaigns that you need to have running, working really, really well, that is where then like you can separate yourself out. And as I said, you've got probably till June 2025 to get this done. But for me, I'm recommending every client that we work with that like get this sorted now so you avoid this once everything starts to go away. So targeting a niche is so, so important. Understanding exactly who that is. Because if you know their pains, fears, frustrations better than anyone else, you will be the go-to person. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we want you to be able to tap into. Just like a couple of our clients that have done that, Matt, who started with these tactics, he was doing 5, 10K a month. He dialed in his niche. He got very, very specific with who he worked with for his campaigns, for who he wanted to work with. As I said, he just mastered that one thing. And now he's an 8-figure business owner, works with clients all over the US. He has a big, huge property he's bought in Australia, like doing very, very well for himself. And all he did was hone in on understanding his niche and just became the go-to person. Like in his industry, he is the only one you think of. Similarly, Ankita and Brendan came and worked with us as well. Now, seven-figure business owners started mastering ads. They started with a side hustle. They've grown that to full time, honed in their niche, and that's what allowed them to scale faster, scale better. Because if you're trying to do something for a range of different people, it means you've always got to be putting on a different hat, being like, what am I saying to this person? What am I saying to this person? And it can get very, very confusing. So if you niche in, it not only allows you to understand exactly who you're speaking to. It also means that the ideal person, when they see your ads, when they see your copy, when they chat to you, like, this is the person for me, let's go, bang, and then they can easily jump on board with you. Michaela did that as well. She couldn't make ads work. All she did was hone in really well on the pain points. She didn't know exactly who it was. And then she just literally just hit boost post on a range of different posts on Facebook. She secured contracts with the New Zealand government and hit multiple six-figure months, had to hire tons of new staff. All that she did was really hone in on the pain. What's the major problem? Showcase how she had the best solution and was able to pick up, as I said, huge contracts with the New Zealand government, which grew her business drastically fast. I'm talking like from 1 month to the next, like 1,000% jumps, which was tough for her to understand at the time because she had a big team to then have to onboard. Now, offers, as I said, there's three core offers that you need to have, three core campaigns, and having a great offer. This is not an offer. I'm not talking about what you're selling, right? This is what you offer people to be able to entice them to see what it is that you're selling, right? So this is what you have to offer on Facebook. This is not just like, hey, this is what I sell, that's my offer, right? A lot of people refer to that as well. I'm talking about what are you offering to get them to send you a message, to leave their details, to submit a form. What are we offering them? That's what we're talking about with an offer. And now the three most important, number three, I'll start with first because it's the first one, really. But conversion mechanism. This is like, what are we putting out there to get people who are hot, ready to trot to come through to us, right? And still, we're only going to get, this is only going to be about 5% of the marketplace, but we want to be able to bring them in now anyway. We want to be able to have that conversation. The next is our lead acquisition, which basically means it's like how we're going to build a database. Because in the past, I've had Facebook go down, I've had Instagram go down, I've had them be hacked, I've had ad accounts disabled. And what that means is if we're solely relying on our conversion mechanism, if we're solely relying on this here, and one of those accounts goes down, how's your organic content going to go if your Instagram account's disabled? How's your organic Facebook strategy in groups going to go if that gets disabled, gets rejected, you get locked out, you get hacked, right? This is where we build our email list, and we build it drastically because we also want to know when our audiences disappear, when we can no longer target them, we want to be able to send an email out. We also want to be able to upload this into Facebook and be like, hey, Facebook, these are our potential customers. Give us more of them when it comes to our ads. So this is where we got like a double-edged win. So I'm going to do number two squared. And then number one, like I mentioned earlier, we want to be positioned as the mogul of our industry. This is the mogul method. This is our content amplification. This is where we promote that content that we put out regularly, because what happens again, we want to build an audience of people. We want the other, let's say 85%, because then we say we've got another 10% here that we're building that aren't ready to do anything just yet. What we want to have happen is we want them to be choosing us. Like we want them to be thinking of us as the go-to person. We also want to build an audience. We want to build a list online on Facebook of people that we can also run ads to in the future, because anything that happens on Facebook is likely to not be removed. Everything that happens off Facebook, all the other targeting options that they have are going to be removed. But if we have our own audience of Facebook, Instagram, etc., they're going to be ours. We've built them. We've provided them with value. We're the ones that have really built that up. That's the most important piece. So if we can have all three of those, they're the three campaigns. That's what's going to help you to get to 50K a month and beyond. Now, you have to get one working, this one, most important, get that working very well first. But as soon as you have all three, that's when your business will be humming and you start to see it scale and scale and scale. And again, ad account goes down, doesn't matter. Email your list, right? Can't get into your content, doesn't matter. You've got conversion, you've got ads going, you've got lists being built. It's all happening on autopilot for you. Again, some of our clients that have done this, like Felipe, couldn't generate a lead. He niched down, dialed in his offer slightly, and hit 500 leads a month, under $1 a lead. Now he's got new problems. Jared was able to make sales on demand now. Again, he started with an offer that was not too precise. We had to adjust it slightly to get his conversion mechanism working effectively. As soon as he had that, he grew from 2K a month to 10K a month very, very fast. And Paul, again, all we had to do was help him understand his conversion mechanism and what he was saying. He was leaving 10K a month on the table from his warm audience. He mastered making an offer to them and was able to bring in money quick, smart. Now, copy is relatively straightforward, right? All we want to do, I like to call it the PAS, PAS. Probably other people do as well, but it's basically we want to identify the problem, we want to agitate it, and then we want to solve it in our copy. Now, if we have a very precise person that we're talking to, we know what their problems are. If we have a very precise person that we're talking to, we can easily make an offer to be able to collect their details. Then our copy doesn't have to be hard. Let's say that your ideal person has 3 to 4 major problems that they're looking to face that your product or service solves. You just write out, this is what your problem is. Is this your problem? Right? Stir it up a little bit and be like, that's going to cost you in the long run, health, wealth, family, relationships, whatever it might be. Solution, come and work with me. We'll help you figure out if you can fix it. Leave your name, email, phone number, send me a message, right? We have our final call to action. That's it. You don't have to overcomplicate copy. Like there's many templates I can give you and things like that as well that we have that work. However, if you know all you need to do is problem, agitate, solve, right? You can also use the framework of AIDA, right? Attention, interest, desire, action. Grab their attention, spark their interest, enhance their desire, give them a call to action. Very simple frameworks, but they only work when you've done all the research, when you've done all the hard yards, you know your niche, then it becomes easy. Again, people have done that. Ali came to us, he started an agency, he grew it to 50K a month and beyond, he actually sold it, and now he mentors agencies, helps them scale their businesses to 50, 100K months and onwards. Arshay as well came in, dialed in his offer and audience, scaled to 5x his previous revenue. He's now a specialist in his field. You might see his ads around. Jacob as well came to us. He didn't believe in ads. He said that they wouldn't work, they couldn't work. Dialed in all three, his niche, his offer, and his copy. His niche was already really good. He was great at making offers organically, kept hitting up against a wall, couldn't scale it. When he was able to dial in all three, then he could actually go to the point where he's spending hundreds of dollars per day. So if you can understand the NOC method, that's all you need to do. It becomes very, very simple. Now, if you're someone who's heard all this and be like, this actually sounds good, I need help with this, awesome. We can help you. We have literally 2 options, one-to-one support or group support. So again, wherever you've come to us today, you can DM me on IG or Facebook, just say the word ads, or book a call. If there's a link around where you can book a call, do that, and we can help you out. If not, hopefully you've got some value from the training today. You've understood a little bit more about what makes ads tick. As I said, it's not the technical part, it's the research. It's understanding your niche, knowing who they are and what you want to share with them. And if you can do that and do that effectively, build out your 3 campaigns, 50K a month and beyond is well within your sights. As I said, hope you got some great value from today. Literally just send me a DM or click below and book a call. But until then, next time, I'll see you soon. I'm Kim. Y'all have been awesome. Adios.